If you're a recent graduate or you know one, you've probably felt it. Something's off. That first rung on the career ladder, it seems like it's just vanishing. Entry-level jobs are disappearing, and it's happening fast. So in this explainer, we're going to investigate. Where have all the graduate jobs gone?
Okay, let's just get right to it. This number right here pretty much says it all. Minus 33%. That is the staggering drop in job vacancies for new graduates in just the last year, according to data from Indeed. A third of the opportunities gone, almost overnight. This means you have way more graduates chasing way fewer jobs.
And it's not just the data that's setting off alarm bells. Listen to what the experts are saying. Chris Eldridge, who's the CEO of the recruitment firm Robert Walters, he puts it bluntly. It's likely to be one of the most challenging times in history for graduates to get a job today. Not just a bad year. We're talking a historic challenge. So the evidence is piling up. Some people have even started calling this a graduate jobpocalypse. Let's break down exactly what this perfect storm looks like. And it really is a perfect storm. It's not just the job listings falling off a cliff. We're seeing this massive, historic reversal. Get this, for the first time ever recorded, the unemployment rate for graduates is actually higher than the overall unemployment rate. And the problem is being amplified because the drop in entry-level jobs is happening 3 times faster than it is for senior roles. The very bottom of the career ladder is getting hit the hardest.
So what in the world is causing this chaos? Well, it's time to line up the usual suspects.
We have 2 key culprits in our lineup. First, you've got the unstable economy, the classic villain, right? With so much uncertainty, companies have been slamming the brakes on hiring for over 2 years now, and experts worry it's creating this future void of talent. But there's a new player in town, the AI revolution. Companies are in this massive wait-and-see mode, automating junior tasks, and some are even cutting jobs just to see what happens. The long-term impact? It's a huge question mark.
And this quote from Jeremy Claydet, the CEO of Welcome to the Jungle, just perfectly captures this hesitation. He says companies are literally asking themselves, does AI mean we don't have to recruit entry-level positions anymore? That single question is just hanging over the entire job market right now. So to really get our heads around this, let's zoom in on one industry where this AI experiment is happening in real time.
Our case file for today, the legal profession. It's a field that's being completely reshaped by AI, especially when it comes to the kind of work that new graduates have always done. Okay, let's look at the huge shift that's happening for junior lawyers. The old way was filled with what they called drudge work. We're talking hours and hours of repetitive document review. Now, an AI tool can tear through all of that in an instant. This totally flips the script on what skills you need. The focus is now on things like prompt engineering and checking the AI's work, which means junior lawyers are being pushed to take on higher value, more complex work much, much sooner.
Julian Taylor, a senior partner at the law firm Simmons & Simmons, basically confirms this. He's very clear that a massive amount of that commoditized work, the repetitive, predictable stuff, is just going to be done by AI. From a purely business standpoint, you can't argue with the efficiency.
But and this is where it gets really fascinating. That very same partner, Julian Taylor, immediately points out the danger. He says if you start cutting those junior numbers, you kill your future talent pipeline. This is the central dilemma that companies everywhere are wrestling with. It's a trade-off between the short-term win of AI efficiency and the long-term need to actually grow your human talent.
So if all that old-school drudge work is disappearing, what's taking its place? Well, one of the key new skills is something called prompt engineering. It's basically the art and science of talking to an AI to get the result you actually want. It's not enough to just be a good lawyer anymore. You also have to be really good at talking to the machine. And this is becoming a critical skill, not just in law, but everywhere.
And this all leads us to the biggest question of all. If the old way in is gone, we have to start rewriting the entire career ladder from scratch.
We've pretty much established it. That first rung of the ladder is gone. So the question becomes, what happens now? What do we build in its place?
Now, you might not believe this, but some people are looking to the history books for answers. 2 very old models are being talked about for this very new problem. First, there's a medieval model, where families would literally pay a master craftsman to take on their kid as an apprentice. Could future companies charge a fee just for training? Then there's an indentured model, where a company trains you for free, but in exchange, you have to stay with them for a set time, maybe even 10 years. It's a wild idea, right? Using centuries-old concepts to solve a super modern problem?
So, regardless of what the future looks like, what can graduates do right now? Well, the focus has to shift away from tasks a machine can do and toward things that are uniquely human. We're talking about critical thinking, being adaptable, and just getting comfortable using AI as a partner, not a replacement. And maybe most important of all, effective communication, not just with other people, but with AI too. These are the skills that are going to define the next generation of work.
And so that's where we're left, with this massive looming question. The first rung of the career ladder is broken. Maybe it's even gone for good. The challenge now, for companies, for schools, for all of us, is to figure out what we're going to build in its place. Because honestly, the entire future of work depends on the answer.